Hey guys, Scott here from Pompously Political, bringing you a quick, pompous update. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there is a video that is crashing the internet, and this time, there's nothing to do with the Kardashian. No, it's that other internet crasher we love so much, Donald Trump himself. On January 13th, he had a rally in Pensacola, Florida, not too far from my home in Tampa. And about 30 minutes into that rally, he had a little treat for everyone. Not going to ruin it for you. I'm just going to play it for you a little bit so you can enjoy it with everybody else.
Cowardice! Are you serious? Apologies for freedom. I can't handle this! President Donald Trump knows how to make America great. Deal from strength or get crushed every time. The stars and stripes are flying. Let's celebrate our freedom. Inspire proudly freedom to the world. USA. American pride. USA. It's attitude, it's who we are. Stand up tall. The red, white, and blue. Fiercely free, that's who. Our colors don't run nursery.
Ah yes, there it is. Trump's new theme song, and I have to apologize to all who have been subjected to the horror that is that video. But highlights an issue that Jimmy and I talked about in our State of the Union response video that should be addressed a bit more in depth, because it goes back to the Republican Party, specifically Donald Trump, but it's not exclusively him. It's the Republican Party as a whole has a serious issue understanding history, even referencing history. History is there so that we can learn from our mistakes. They're not learning from these mistakes. This goes back to, I will fault it starting with Glenn Beck and his gross misunderstanding of what the Founding Fathers intended, using it to justify xenophobia and bigotry in the form of religious dogma that they've been spewing. And if you think I'm incorrect here, please message me, Twitter, whatever. You have all the information. They'll be at the end of the video. They're in the comments. Let me know what you think. But to prove my point a little bit, because you don't want to come to the party without proof, I want you to check out this video. Maybe you'll be able to recognize it where it's from. I'm not going to do any spoilers yet. Oh yes, we've heard the comparisons to the Die America song in the interview from 2014 so far, referencing how North Korea does business. But let's go a little bit further back. The similarities don't just end there. Here's another portion of that video for you. So, the German video goes into the lyrics to Stalin, Churchill, and Roosevelt, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. The lyric before that obviously being that, our sights are set on you. But if we look back at the Trump video, some of the lyrics that are there, come on boys, take them down. Freedom and liberty everywhere. But to make the comparison complete, just look at the next clip. Did you get it yet? Because you're about to. Jimmy, what did you think about that? I mean, all the warning signs are there. But is anyone going to listen to him? Especially now that Trump is kind of emerging as an actual candidate and not just a joke for this election. Of course, not accounting for the Republican Party's complete dismissal of him in their State of the Union response. But what are you thinking on this?
Well, for starters, first of all, the fact of the matter is that Trump, who we thought, again, was a joke candidate, has continued to stay within this race. And not only that, but polling in record numbers for his political base. He had Rubio and, Ted Cruz behind him. The startling fact about it is that people are taking him seriously as a candidate, and that's why he's polling in these numbers. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people within this country that agree with some of the xenophobic policies that he wants to put forth. And that's terrifying. So what I get out of this, Scott, is fear, and lots of it. Lots of white, probably suburban middle-class people that are afraid of the other. And the other is anybody that is not like them. We're talking about Muslims, we're talking about Mexicans, we're talking about blacks, we're talking about everybody that is not included in the white silent majority. And that is what Trump is tapping into.
Well, the setup in the video was the parallels between Trump's video and Nazi Germany, obviously prior to World War II, as they're gathering support for that. You know, when you actually look at the statistics, there's nothing there that equates us to the position that Germany was in going into that. But the message is the same. The propaganda techniques, they're the same.
The part you'll find specifically interesting isn't necessarily that they both feature, dancing young girls, although that's a tool, not a new tool of propaganda. It's as old as propaganda itself, but it's the message specifically. Germany needs to rise up and spread its glory to the rest of the known world, so as to create Lebensraum. And Lebensraum was the space in order for the Aryan nation to thrive and to succeed, essentially. And America, in the Trump message, needs to stand up and spread democracy, no matter the cost, whether it be human lives, curtailing human rights. That's the sort of attitude that you get in that. Of course, you've heard other comparisons of Germany before, Glenn Beck comparing Obama's policies to Nazi Germany. But let's be clear on something here. Obama, what is it? Here it is, his last year. He just gave his last State of the Union. And he has yet to enact his diabolical plan. Okay? So if he's planning on doing it, he's been extraordinarily lazy doing so. So now Trump, on the other hand, has made his thoughts known, his ideas and his policies, well in advance. He's established this is his thought process well in advance. His policies echo the xenophobic rhetoric of Nazi Germany, the militaristic aggressiveness of North Korea, and infused it with the ignorance of overprivileged American capitalism.
Okay, so is it lost on anyone that Trump is appealing to the stereotypical white-collar working class, which is exactly who Adolf Hitler was appealing to whenever he was rising to power, was getting the German working class behind him? I think there's another similarity in these situations in where even if intelligent people can look at it and say, okay, Trump's a bad choice, Hitler's the wrong choice for Germany, even though we can say that and we know that. So people who are subscribing to this type of religiously driven xenophobia to push away those that are different from them, from the gays to the Muslims to the Mexicans, and hell, now with Ted Cruz, probably the Canadians too. There is the tendency to ignore what you don't want to hear. That if there are subtle overtones within the message, that you're going to miss those because the talking points line up with what you're thinking. That Muslims are bad. That the gays are taking over. Along those lines.
I think you're onto something specifically. I mean, even now we have people dismissing the comparison. Even now we have people that are dismissing it as fraudulent and fake. Yet this is just another example. If you have already made up your mind, not even facts can sway you. And what that's called, ladies and gentlemen, is cognitive dissonance.
And there you have it. Donald Trump's new campaign song. An omen of things to come? Hopefully not. As always, I am Scott with Pompously Political. Big shout out and thanks to James for tuning in, giving us his thoughts on this episode. Until next time, take care. Keep thinking.
Yeah.